You know that feeling when you open a website, look past a poster, or scroll past a graphic, and then your body is just like, nope. Not because it's ugly, not because the idea is bad. Sometimes it's even kind of good. But then something inside you physically wants to recoil and you're not quite sure why. That reaction, that's layout. So today I want to talk about layouts and graphic design in a way that's not technical, not gatekeepy, and definitely not a school lecture. I want to talk about it as a human experience because that's actually what it is. This video is for curious people, the people who notice how things feel, even if you've never opened a design program in your life. Layout is not decoration. It is not making things look pretty. And it's definitely not just filling the space because things look empty. Layout is all about how information greets a human being. It decides things like where your eye goes first, whether you feel calm or overwhelmed, whether you trust what you're really looking at, and whether you actually want to keep going or just quietly leave. A good layout says, hey, I thought about you. And a bad layout, it says, good luck. And the funny thing is that most people can't really explain why they don't like a layout. They just know how it makes them feel. Before I place anything, I always ask myself one very important question. How should this feel? Not what grid should I use? What font is trendy? How do I feel the page? But should it feel calm or energetic? Should the design feel more intimate or bold? Are we going for something that's confident or playful? Do we want the elements to be spacious or dense? Because layout is all about emotional pacing. You're not arranging objects. You are arranging attention. If you don't decide the feeling first, then your layout will just look very confused. And why is this? It's because you were confused. And this is where a lot of well-meaning designs really go off the rails. Quick story time. No names, no visuals, no crimes committed. Recently, someone I know, creative, genuinely excited, well-intentioned person, made something and shared it. And immediately when I saw it, my first reaction was deep internal cringe. It felt like my soul was trying to fold in on itself. And it's not because the design was ugly, and it's not because the idea was bad, but because when you look at it, your eye didn't know where to land. Everything was loud. Everything felt important. Everything was fighting for attention at the same time. And I could feel how much effort was put into it, which honestly makes it worse because you know they really cared. But this is a good example about why layouts actually really matter. Bad layouts usually aren't laziness. It is usually care without direction. When you don't decide what matters most, then everything keeps competing. And when everything competes, the viewer feels stressed, even if they can't explain why. I didn't think, wow, this person doesn't know design. I looked at that design and I thought to myself, okay, it needed one clear decision, one deep breath, one moment of restraint, one question. What do I want to see and feel first? And this brings us to hierarchy, but I'm going to explain it to you like we're humans, not like a textbook. Hierarchy is all about answering this question. What do I notice first? Why? Your eye is actually a very dramatic creature. It loves contrast, it loves confusion, and will absolutely give up if everything is yelling. Here's a quick test. Squint at your layout. What still stands out? What disappears? What feels too loud? And again, if everything stands out, then nothing is important. That is the biggest beginner mistake, making everything special. Special only works when it's rare. Let's talk about white space, or AKA, the thing that everyone is afraid of. White space is not empty. It is intentional silence. Think about a conversation. If someone talks nonstop without pausing, you don't think to yourself, wow, this person is an efficient communicator. Instead, you think to yourself, okay, slow down. Please let me breathe. White space is the pause in graphic design. You don't need to rush everything. This is intentional. I respect your attention. Crowdedness usually comes out of fear. What if I miss this? And ironically, space actually makes things more noticeable, not less. Alignment. Subtle but powerful. When things line up, then your brain goes, okay, I feel considered. When things are almost aligned, then your brain goes like, okay, something feels really off. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. Alignment isn't about perfection. It is about care. Things that belong together, they should look like they belong together. Consistent spacing, shared edges, visual rhythm. If your alignment and your design work feels boring, then congratulations, you're doing it right. Your brain is constantly asking what goes together. Layout answers that before text ever does. Things that are closer together, they feel related. And things that are far apart, they obviously feel separate. That is it. That's the magic. It is not just about arranging content. You are shaping how people interpret it. And that is why layouts work even when you don't consciously notice it. Okay, so here are some very common mistakes. Number 1, centering everything out of fear. Using too many font sizes, filling every inch of space, ignoring margins, designing for a screen and not actual humans. If your layout feels off, it is rarely because you lack talent. It is usually because you didn't do things like commit to the hierarchy. You didn't leave enough space. You didn't decide the feeling first. So here's the takeaway. Good layouts is empathy in visual form. It says to your viewer, I thought about how this is going to feel. I respect your attention. I guided you instead of overwhelming you. Once you start seeing layouts this way, you will never unsee it. And honestly, that's when design stops feeling so intimidating and it starts feeling very much human. Okay, guys, if this video helped you feel layouts instead of memorizing it, let me know. And maybe I could do a follow-up video of me breaking down layouts that work versus layouts that don't work. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in something like that. I would love to do that for you. All right, break is over. I'm back, baby. But that's all I have for you right now. See you in the next one. Bye.